more than anything, I said I came from an academic background. And one
Yeah.
of the reasons that I don't think I would have succeeded as an academic is that academics is all about learning everything there is to know about one small subject. And what I get to do with my job now is because they're textbooks, you're still talking about subjects that a student isn't going to know anything about, right? They're supposed to
Mhm.
learn from reading the book. And so by working on this stuff, I get to learn about a ton of different things, stuff that I never even would have thought was interesting. And then as I'm working on a book, it's like, wow, or even just researching the market for a book. It's like, this is some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really expanded my mind in a lot of ways that way. I learn a lot with every book we publish because a lot of it is I'm learning new markets. Like I said,
Hmm.
I publish in subjects that I have in some cases have never even heard of until I started working on them. About 12 years ago, my boss gave me a mandate and he says there's three subjects that fit us well in terms of market numbers, but we haven't been able to get our foot in the door. Try to build us a list. And in two in particular, I've been very successful. And they are both things that I did not know thing one about before I started: forestry and geology. Um, I've, I don't necessarily know, the nuts and bolts of it. I can't tell you how to identify a granite from a whatever, an oolitic ore, but I know enough about what are the basic tenets of geology, what are the differences between these different classes, how is the curriculum structured. There are relations between geochemistry and petrology. What are those? That kind of stuff I've learned. And that's the part that I love, is really figuring out, okay, how do all these different pieces in a subject fit together? And then how can we then fill those gaps? How can we publish books that are going to be used in those areas? And then, how do I reach out to those people and start those conversations? And I love that stuff. I love learning more. Right now is a good case study. I've been doing a lot with theater over the last few years. Same reason. I think it's a discipline that just fits us very well in terms of market numbers. Never was a theater, kid in when I was younger. I knew nothing about it. And I had a guy approach me late last year, said, I want to publish a book on history of theater. Okay, well, how do I decide whether that's a good idea? Do my market research. Okay, it looks like that's a standard course in every department. They have to take it. What is going to make your book different? He tells me, well, the problem is the books that are out there are too European American focused. We need something that, will treat it globally. Okay, give me a table of contents. What do you want to write about? I then look and find other instructors and say, hey, is this something that you want to teach? Or are you happy with just teaching kind of the Western canon of things? I haven't even signed a contract yet, and I've already learned a ton about this stuff. And that's the part that I live for. That stuff that never gets old for me.